Hi, my name is Franz and this is PhotoRap, a show about photography, its history, technique, and gadgets.
This week on PhotoRap, we celebrate the start of World Photography Month and look back at how photography thrived through the ages. Polaroid is back with a 600 round frame. We'll discuss how photographers around the world are loving it. On tips, we're back with Tonal Balance and how the use of shadows and highlights can boost your subject. A look at this week's top selection of photos from PhotoNation International. And we listen to Jes Abela, a young fine art photographer who focuses on concept composites and self-portraits.
Happy World Photography Month! Photography shapes the way we do things, from recording life as it happens to sharing a mood or a feeling that inspires and captivates viewers. Let's look back at how photography began.
The early years of photography takes us back to 400 BC in China. A philosopher called Mozi was the first person to discover the simple principles of the concept camera obscura. What is camera obscura? Mozi stumbled upon the fascinating fact that when a streak of light enters a dark room, what he refers to as a locked treasure room, it projects a reverse image of the scene. It's as simple as a light-sealed box with a small hole at one end projecting a reverse image at the opposite end. Italian artist and inventor Leonardo da Vinci recreated the concept and repurposed it for use in art. The camera obscura helped artists paint more accurately. Centuries later, the discovery of chemical-based compounds that reacted to light made it possible to capture a scene as accurately as possible. In the late 1800s, scientists were able to produce light-sensitive materials on plates that record light. That evolved to the use of film, a cheaper and more convenient way to capture light. A film is a cellulose-based light-sensitive material that when developed with chemicals produces an accurate image. Photography was expensive until the early 1900s when an idealist by the name of George Eastman introduced the camera for the masses. He called it the dollar camera Kodak Brownie that was marketed to appeal to young people, which ultimately captured everyone's imagination. Several decades later, technology caught up, and the first digital camera appeared in the 70s with Steve Sasson's invention. The process of photography may have changed, but the idea and concept remains the same. It only got smarter, faster, and more efficient.
And now for photography news. Polaroid has a history of comebacks and this comeback comes full circle. Let's take a look at the returning 600 round frames from Polaroid.
Polaroid 600 round frames are back, and photographers around the world are excited. Polaroid's history is intertwined with modern photography and pop culture. Founded in 1937 by Edwin Land, the company made history with the introduction of instant film, where the photographer immediately gets to see the image without having to send the film to a lab for developing. The different products that the company made were revolutionary. To a certain extent, Edwin Land was the Steve Jobs of the 30s. As the digital era dawned, instant film became a thing of the past, and on October 11, 2001, Polaroid company filed for federal bankruptcy. In 2008, Dutch company Impossible Project set out to revive the instant film idea. This led the company to buy the rights to the name Polaroid in 2017. They renamed the company Polaroid Originals. Just last year, the company came full circle, reverting the name to just Polaroid, bringing back the pride of the 30s. Polaroid's rivals such as Fujifilm has their own version of the instant film, but what captures the attention of photographers is the distinct look of one film exclusive to Polaroid, the round frame instant film. It was conceptualized and developed by the Impossible Project and was sold between 2014 to 2015. Polaroid says this new film is also compatible with other vintage Polaroid camera models as well as the new ones. Each pack of film comes in 8 frames and can be purchased per pack or in packs of 3 or 5 at discounted rates. The film is available now via select merchants and retail stores in the Philippines.
balance is what most people call the heart of visual appeal. This week, we continue with our discussion on the balance technique.
Last time, we discussed asymmetrical balance. This week, we'll discuss tonal balance. Tonal balance may involve simplifying the colors by muting them to immediately show your subject. It's as simple as utilizing contrast in your image to emphasize shadows and highlights of the composition. In this image, you immediately see the man walking in the middle. The highlights and the shadows emphasize the simplicity as well as the details of the subject.
Here's a new segment where we take a look at some of the images we found from PhotoNation International and share how these images captivated us.
This week, we selected photos that represent tonal balance. First up, we have a photo from Eleanor Biledo from Italy. The shadows and the contrast emphasize the alley which draws you to the cross symbol. Next, we have a photo sent by Fitzbore, who took this photo at St. Peter's Basilica inside the Vatican City. The highlights in the middle draws you to it, illuminating the path. Next is a silhouette of Jet Asido from Cebu. The silhouette draws you to the subject. In most cases, silhouettes are also a good technique to show tonal balance. Next is Kat Alvaro's photo, which captures the class divide in the cities, from the highly populated slums, to the high-end residential houses, to the business district. It shows a hierarchy where tonal balance helps draw this contrast. And the last one is a photo from Von Serrano, which captures the calm of the sea with the use of tonal balance. Don't forget to tune in to the next episode. Your photo might be the next one to be featured.
Photography as an art form can intersect with many disciplines. Today we feature Jes Abela, a fine art photographer who does conceptual composites in his photography.
When I was 5 years old, nasa room po kami with our teacher and one by one, tinanong kami ng teacher kung anong gusto naming maging paglaki. I have this idea na I'm dreaming about becoming a magician and I was really excited to tell everyone what my dream is. And then, sinabi ko na the teacher told me that I cannot be what I want to be. Yung dream na to become a magician, nawala. So I grow up without knowing what my dreams are. Until photography came in my life and I realized that dami ko palang dreams na gustong maging or magawa paglaki ko. And I-realize ko yun because of photography. I'm actually living what my dream is kasi I'm making magic out of these photos that I'm creating. When you're making an art, you also have to understand that art is selfish and that you have to create first for yourself. I think the first step in inspiring people is to connect first with yourself and then finding people who will connect with it. Yung photo po na nanalo sa photo of the year, it's all about the pandemic. It's about seeing the beauty in the darkness as well. On the other side, as they burn away the pain and all the sufferings that they feel, will also leave their body. The process starts from knowing what your message is. So dapat alam mo kung why you are creating, kung ano yung bagay na gusto mong iparating. And the second is about knowing what the story is. Sa story, dapat meron siyang beginning, the middle part, and then the ending. Where in the beginning, usually it's all about who the character is, kung saan siya nagmula, and then the middle part, kung ano yung pinagdaraanan niya. Then yung sa part or sa ending is yung kung paano naging completely different person yung character natin. In my art, I use symbolism. May mga nilalagay akong elements doon. I use universal symbols na maiintindihan. So, meron ka ng concept, kailangan mo rin i-consider kung anong oras mo isi-shoot. Kasi kung mataas yung araw or matirik yung araw, minsan hindi maganda yung register ng light sa subject. So, mostly nag-shoot ako ng mga hapon na. Then lastly, sa editing process na tayo. Ito yung favorite ko sa lahat, pero ito rin yung pinaka-hate ko kasi very time-consuming siya. So you have to consider the color. Ang bawat kulay may iba't ibang emosyon na or meaning na naisip parating. So you have to consider what emotion you want to evoke. My advice is to just put it out there no matter what people will say, because yun nga, di naman natin mag-please lahat. No matter how kind you are or good you are at something, there will always be these people that will hate you. But the most important thing is that you are creating it. Kasi hindi naman sila makakatulong sa success natin. You don't have to listen to those people. You have to listen to your heart.
And that was PhotoRap. Again, happy World Photography Month. Join us again next time to explore photography tips, news, and meet photographers. My name is Franz. Thank you for watching.